Hey guys, what's up? Another week's gone by and I have a package to open here, so it's time for another weekly update. I had a long day today. I had a 10-hour school day and I probably didn't get enough to eat. So I figured, what better time to make a weekly update, right? I'm going to call this a back to school weekly update because this was the first week of school and I really didn't have time for anything else. I'm even running late. I'm trying to get every video done on a Sunday, but didn't work out. So, um, I'm only going to be talking about school stuff, and I'm going to show some of the stuff that I had to get for school, especially in contrast with last week when I was so excited for school. Now it's happened, and now here's the reality of it. So, all right, so I'm just going to try to get through it real quick, and then I'm going to get to opening my package here. So, Monday, the first day of school. Um, First thing I want to say about Mondays is Mondays actually kind of worked out well for me. Depending on how you look at it, sometimes if when you look at the course catalog or whatever, and you see, oh wow, there's this class ends at 11, and this class and I can take this class, and then this class ends at 2, and you're like, oh, why not take another one? And before you know it, you've got a 9-hour day. So I was lucky that I was able to do that, but then it's like I have 3 classes in a row, and the only time I could take them was in that order. So it was lucky that it worked out for me. But geez, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. We got at 8:30 today. So, but yeah, 11 to 9 is a long day. So that's my Monday. I was prepared for that. Now, if last week when I made that video, I hadn't been. I was up like it was 2 in the morning. I was doing laundry, and I wasn't able to get to sleep. So I actually did. I just had such a nervous energy, not a nervous, like an excited energy. And whenever I have an excited energy like that, and I have a very like minimal time to sleep, I can never fall asleep. It's horrible. So I ended up going to school with no sleep. My 9-hour day. Lucky for me, it wasn't a 9-hour day that time, because the teacher let us out maybe at 8, so it was more like it was a 9-hour day. Damn it. Anyway, so that was kind of the bad part, not being able to sleep and stuff. But everything went really chill. I went to my classes. Nobody seemed to notice. Although I noticed that I was a little bit quiet. I was very zombied out every time I've. That's how I feel when I don't get enough sleep for school. I mean, when I don't sleep and I go to school, it's very zombie-like for me. I'm just like, just trying to get through it. So it worked out well though. Nobody seemed to notice. Nobody seemed to notice. So then Tuesday I had to get into class at 8. So I didn't get enough sleep, even though I tried to sleep as much as possible. I would have loved more. Um, Tuesday, Thursday, I have a class at 8, but it's my only class. So the teacher let us out real early. Like she was real quick with everything, and she was like, "All right, go get the supplies, and we'll see you Thursday." So after that, I remember it was a hot day, but I went out to get all the supplies I needed. Usually I would have gone to Amazon, but I kind of felt like I needed them really quick, and I wasn't sure, all these little pieces, I didn't want them coming from different places and stuff, so I went out to the Arizona Art Supply store and got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to show off here in a minute. Um, okay, so then Wednesday, the teacher wanted us to read something from the book, so I decided to go to the library and see if they had it, because I didn't want to buy it, because all the supplies were kind of expensive, and I just didn't want to add a book into it. So I got there early, which was actually kind of lucky, because when I was getting out of my car, I had a soda, so I took a quick sip, and stupid Circle K cups sometimes like drip. So like I took a sip from the straw, and like it dripped on me, and I was wearing a white T-shirt, so I had this like nasty brown like stain, and I was like, oh, that's gonna piss me off so bad. So the only thing I could think to do was like, there was no time to go home, even though I was early. There wasn't time to do everything I needed to do and change my shirt or anything. So I just went to the bathroom, and I wet it down, and I was like, oh, that's not gonna work. So I took it off. So I was in the bathroom without a shirt, and I'm not gonna show a picture of that. Um, uh, and I ran it under the water, and then I put it back on. And then I realized, I was like, oh shit, it's all wet. So it was like wet here, and then wet a little bit here where I wet it there, but it was like stretched out way more than it had to be. It wasn't completely soaked or anything, but in those spots and on my chest. So I put it on, and like I could see it sticking to my chest, and you could see through it and stuff, because it's a white T-shirt, and I was like, oh man, that's almost even worse than than the stain. So then I was in the bathroom for like 10 minutes just trying to, I put towel underneath under the shirt and then trying to dampen it and just like air it out. And then I realized, I was like, well, wait a minute, I have time. I'm gonna go sit in the sun. So I found a nice and sunny seat in the courtyard area by myself, kind of off, like where I don't see a lot of people sitting. So I knew exactly where I was gonna go. And I sat there for like half an hour, which was actually kind of cool, you know. And it dried off nicely. So then I, you know, went about my day. But it was lucky that I had extra time, you know. All right, and I don't know why it was bothering me so much. It was like, well, it's a wet shirt, but it was like, it just looked so wet. It looked retarded, you know. And even then I think, and the stain was just so like right there, you know, on a plain white shirt, whatever. So then that day went well, you know. All right, so then I guess Thursday. Now Thursday is my life drawing class. That's my Tuesday, Thursday, 8 o'clock class. It's life drawing. So the teacher on Tuesday said, all right, come back, get your materials, and we'll get drawing. We'll have a muddle, and we'll get drawing on Thursday. So I expected it, and I've come to understand that life drawing is usually from like a nude model. Nude life, I guess. It's a figure drawing. Anyway, so I expected there to be and I expected it wasn't going to be like a supermodel or anything. So it was kind of what I expected, just kind of like an older woman, you know. But here's where it kind of got weird. Okay, so everything was going fine, you know. It took a couple minutes. She's, you know, everything's setting up and stuff, and I've seen things like this where they have like a little, you know, like a little drape, and the model goes back there and comes out, and it's very like respectable, I guess, or whatever. But so here's where it kind of got, where I had an awkward moment. So I was back like here, and like the teacher was here, and like the model was over there. So I was kind of like watching her. I wasn't sure what was going to go on. I thought the teacher was going to say, "Oh, hey, this is so and so. This is her. You know, blah blah blah. She's you know, basically like an introduction." I thought she was then going to say something like, "And okay, guys, let's try to be respectful here." You know, I thought there was going to be at least a little bit of introduction or something. And you know, the teacher was like on the computer, like looking for something. So I'm looking at the model, and she just takes her clothes off, and then she was like naked, and it was like, you know, there were, you know, people line up like in a circle. So I saw like girls in the class were back there, and like, and I was like, oh shit, I just stared at her boobs, and then I was like, well, you know, and then I was like, oh, don't stare at her boobs, and then I was like, okay, stare at the teacher, and I was like, wait, but should I be looking at the model? And I was kind of conflicted, and then on top of that, it's like, as like, you know, how much is like too much of a stare, and is like, if you look and look away, that's kind of weird, and it's like, if you stare too much, you're weird. It's like, so I was like, oh my god, what the hell, like. And then the teacher was like, all right, guys, let's, you know, I think she was getting like a music playing or something. She was like, all right, guys, let's get to it. And I was like, so I had like an awkward like minute there where I was like, you know, trying not to, I don't know. It was just so weird. It would have been better if the teacher would have just said, you know, hey, this is going to happen and blah, blah, blah. So it's just, I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. But then after that, it was just completely normal. We had a long class, you know, and the model would do these weird poses, like literally, like freaking weird poses, and then like a little bit later she'd be like this and stuff. So it was pretty strange, really. But I mean, it just kind of went, you know, long class period, and so yeah, it was cool. I'm looking forward to more of that class. That was the first model. We're going to do it again tomorrow. I mean, I don't know, it might be a male, it might be, you know, somebody else. Alright, so then Friday, oh yeah, Friday. So again, I had an 8 o'clock class, but see, I thought it was on 9. I'd been, in my head, I had it all week. I'd been like, okay, cool, Friday at 9, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, 8, Friday at 9. So I get there at like 7 till 9, and like, the teacher, everybody was like doing stuff, and I was like, oh, this is weird, and I was like looking for a seat, and nobody seemed to even notice that I walked in and stuff, and basically the teacher was like, oh, are you Nathan? And I was like, yeah, and she goes, oh, well, you're late, so you have to introduce yourself before I'd even sit my shit down, you know, and I was like, I'm late, you know, what the hell, I thought class started at 9, and he was like, no, it starts at 8, and I was like, oh, man, and then she said something to me, and I don't know why, I took it really hard. For whatever reason, I took it really serious. I was like, oh, I'm late. You know, it's like, I was up early. I could have been here at 8. In fact, I was killing time before class, and then I just was like, how crappy. 9 is early enough, but it's like, and then I missed all the introduction and stuff. So she goes, and she said something, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, what'd you say? I'm sorry, I just that threw me off a little. And she just smiled, like, and she said, well, introduce yourself. And she was like, well, tell us all, what's interesting in your life, but keep it short, And I was like, all right. So I just, gave a real quick thing, and that was it. So lucky for me, I guess she kind of assumed that was gonna happen or something, because I can't see. The more the more class went on, I realized I was like, oh, I probably really didn't miss anything. Meaning she probably started a little bit late. So then, that was it. Then finally Saturday came, and I was like, oh my God, get to sleep finally. A real day's worth of sleep. And I think there was a concert Thursday night that I missed. So basically that was it. It was just a matter of like getting used to a schedule and trying to sleep and stuff. And then Sunday too. Same thing Sunday. So that's been pretty much it. And then today another 10-hour day. Today was really cool. Just everything went really surprisingly quick. All right. So now I just want to show you some stuff that I had to get. Like, I was just blown away by the amount of stuff. Oh, let me get this out here. All right. So I just want to show you like stuff that I wasn't. It just. I don't know. I guess I did expect it, but here we go. First of all, I want to show just how much paper I had to get. Like, check this out. All right, so I got newsprint, palette paper, Bristol vellum. I actually had Bristol smooth, but I had to get Bristol vellum. Canvas paper. Sketch paper, and drawing paper. It's all pretty self-explanatory here. And on top of that, so then several teachers were saying, get a sketchbook. Okay, so there we go. Like, look at all this shit. I have to carry most of it. It gets heavy, especially some of these bigger pads and stuff. And that's not even everything. Then one teacher wanted us to get not just Bristol, but 18 by 24 Bristol, and it's like $30 for a pad. And then also have to get some cold press illustration board. Oh, and then that doesn't even include my watercolor paper. So yeah, I don't know where that is right now, but yeah. So and watercolor paper too. So which I have. There's that, and then let me show off some of the. I got this nice little toolbox. I've never had a toolbox for art before, so this is kind of cool. I have pencils, but I wanted to just go with a set of pencils, so I went for just to get a set of Prismacolor turquoise pencils. I got like every color. Oh, damn. Like every color I could possibly need. Not every color, sorry, every hardness. So I got like 6H, 4H, 6B, 4B, ebony. This is cool. I haven't had a chance to really get into this. Some of them are sharp, some of them aren't. Various brushes and stuff to use. And this is just for one class. Like, I have to get 2 other sets of brushes. I got paints. And this isn't actually, you'll see in a minute here, isn't all the paints. I got paints in here, all kinds of stuff. So that's fun, for painting class. And to be honest with you, I didn't have any of this before, so like I had to buy all this stuff. I never really had been working with paints before. Alright, so then, just other typical things. Alright, so, that. I'm going to show off what I got here. Alright, so here we go. Ripping this box open. Nice. So nice. This is is awesome. This is a 24 tube Liquitex Basics color set. These are all the colors that come in it. Those kind of, I mean, that's really what everything looks like if you were to open it up. I'm assuming that that's what it would look like. Just crack this sucker open. Alright. Man, this is awesome. Now I'm going to have to carry this. And you know, I'm going to carry it in this box just to be like, I don't want these, I don't know, I might just dump them in there. It's hard to say right now. It just seems like it might be a pain in the ass if I had to look for them, but this box is going to be a pain in the ass to carry in my bag. So here we go. Two rows of 12. All kinds of cool colors here. I mean, blacks and blues and reds and yellows and all kinds of stuff. They're all such weird names. They don't just call it blue. They call it like for instance, what's the name on this? Oh yeah, duh. All right, yeah. They had it in like French first, so I was like, what the hell? But yeah, so like they don't just call it blue; they call it cerulean blue, and this isn't just dark blue; it's cobalt blue. That's cool. That's badass. You can get that for a really good deal on Amazon. Well, obviously on Amazon, but I thought it was a really good deal. You know, the thing is, a lot of these things that I had to get here, like some of these special kinds of paper that were specific to what the teachers wanted, like Bristol or vellum Bristol board and stuff like that. I got everything at the Arizona Art Supply downtown, and I realized that, you know, some of these things, like some of these paints from Michael, some of those Liquitex Basics were buy two get one free. The papers were buy one get one free and stuff, and it was just like, damn, you know, like they obviously wouldn't have every specific little thing I needed, but it would have saved a small amount of money to just go to Michael's, and then if I would have had a little extra time to not have to get everything right away, like certain brushes and stuff, like Amazon was the way to go. So I kind of feel a little bad that I had to maybe overpaid a little bit for everything, especially because it was like, well, let's just say it was hundreds of dollars for it. I mean, not just what I showed, but I think that it could easily have been maybe half that had I had more time and more time, you know, and more shopping around to do. So anyway, this, I'm going to put it back in here. I don't know if I showed it off right. This is pretty sweet. This is a Reeves watercolor, 18 color set. Again, great deal on Amazon. It was like really cheap. And you know, this is kind of like that. This is 18. It's very similar. It's, you know, it's got oh, these are different names, like phthalo blue, ultramarine, Chinese white, zinc white, basically. Payne's gray, ivory black. That's cool. The black I have in there is Mars black. I think ivory black is a little shinier. So yeah, and then there's even one called Flesh Tint. So yeah, this is gonna be cool. Busting into this. I like watercolor a lot. All right, so that's been the weekly update. You know, it's been a really jam-packed week, and I can't wait to start showing off more art. I don't want to show anything that I've done so far because we haven't done anything like that dramatic or anything, and like in terms of big pieces of art, and a lot of it's just practice and stuff. But as soon as, like, you know, I get some really cool stuff going on, I definitely want to start showing it off. And thank you guys for joining me. See you guys next Sunday. This Sunday. All right. See you later. Bye.